I've still not been able to process this myself. I mean, some of you are probably waking up and wondering what is going on. Is it was? So is it true? I've already seen so many comments asking, is it true? Some people missed it. For those guys who were up last night and seeing all the news coming up and Eze actually joining Arsenal, absolutely crazy. I still can't believe this. So let's literally go step by step what happened yesterday night and make sense of all of this, because I still can't believe it myself. Everything happened so quickly. Everything you're about to talk about, everything happened within the space of 3 hours. Literally, the space of 3 hours, it was a done deal. Absolutely crazy. And any other updates that we have, we'll cover it in this video. So let's start with this. So David Ornstein reported that exclusive Arsenal make move for Eberechi Eze plus 27-year-old wants them. Tottenham lined up deal with Crystal Palace today and the player, but Havertz's injury and Arsenal now closing in on England international. If he proceeds with choice, Tottenham will pursue other targets. So that was the first update that we got from David Ornstein. He said that Arsenal, are going to make a move for Eberechi Eze. The 27-year-old wants to join Arsenal, but obviously Tottenham have also agreed a deal with Crystal Palace, so it's literally up to Eze to make the final decision. Arsenal are going to match whatever Tottenham have given to Crystal Palace. Now it's going to be up to Eze. Does he want to make the switch to Arsenal last minute, or is it already too far, gone with Tottenham? He's going to decide to join Tottenham, despite all the connections with Arsenal. Tottenham have been pushing for it the last couple of weeks. It is looking like Arsenal are not going to make any bids for Eze. We were told earlier yesterday that Arsenal were not going to make, any bids of more than 40 million. So 68 million was a dream. You're not going to get 68 million if you don't want to pay 40 million. There's no chance you're going to pay 68 million. So I'd already given up. Many fans had already given up. But this news came up. And when this news came out, there was still a chance that he's going to join Tottenham, because what David Johnson is basically saying here is Arsenal are willing to make that bid for Crystal Palace, for Eze, but there's no guarantee he's going to join Arsenal still. He might still decide to join Tottenham. So at this point, it was completely breaking news. Everything was going crazy. The Tottenham fans are reacting, and they were still hoping that you'd still join them. And then David Ornstein was followed up by Fabrizio Romano. Arsenal have approached Crystal Palace today to sign Eberechi Eze. Surprise move follows Kai Havertz's knee injury as Arsenal try to offer more to both player and Palace to try win the race against Tottenham. Negotiations underway, as David Ornstein reported. So the both of them confirmed it, that Arsenal are now going to try and sign Eberechi Eze. And keep in mind, so much has happened the last 24 hours. We had the trusted new deal out of nowhere. We thought Trossard was the one who was going to leave. Out of nowhere, new deal. And then out of nowhere as well, 3 days after we played Man United, we hear that Havertz has picked up an injury. David Johnson reported that as well. He broke that news as well. So big shout out to him. He had 2-3 big exclusive over the last 24 hours. All of a sudden, Havertz is injured. He's going to miss a long time. Arsenal are going to go in for a replacement to try and cover that, that injury. And that's like the space of 12 hours. We've had a Trossard new deal and a Havertz injury. Who are we going to go for? I didn't think it was going to be Eze at all. I was thinking we were going to go for a winger, maybe an extra forward player, and then move Trossard to the number 10, but, a winger, not really back for Eze. So the things are not going good for Arsenal today. Arsenal, I keep on saying today, it's 7M yesterday. So people are going crazy. People are going mad, rightly so, because they're thinking now without Havertz in the team, Gyökeres is going to have to play every single game. What happens if you need to rest Gyökeres? What happens, in terms of substitutions? Who are we going to bring on? We don't have any other options. We've talked about the left side. Trossard has now signed a new contract. Does this mean you're not going to sign any other player? Things are going crazy yesterday. So this was David Ornstein and Fabrizio saying that you're going to make the move for Eze. So remember at this point, I was eating my dinner. I was thinking, is this for real? This cannot be for real. And he might still end up joining Tottenham because that deal is far gone. Literally a few minutes later, we got another update on Eberechi Eze. Fabrizio said that following talks tonight, Arsenal are convinced that Eberechi Eze prefers to join them over Tottenham. 60 million package offer to Palace with easier add-ons and faster payment terms to try and beat Spurs. So this was the first time that or the second time that we had about the fee. David Johnson had said it's going to be, a 60 million, I think 68 million package, and then Fabrizio said 60 million. It's going to be 60 million plus 7.5 million in add-ons, so it's going to be a 68 million package. So this was the first time we had from Fabrizio talking about an actual fee. So it started to look real. That is actually going to, that is this deal actually going to happen? Is he actually going to join Arsenal? Are we actually going to hijack this deal out of nowhere? Before we could even digest that, we had more. This time from from Fabrizio Romano once again. Sorry, he says Crystal Palace accept tonight's 60 million package from Arsenal for Eberechi Eze. Guys, this was literally like 20 minutes after he said that Arsenal are confident that he's going to join Arsenal. Arsenal finalizing contract terms with Eze, with player keen to join Arsenal project. All this that we've talked about so far, it happened like within the space of 1 hour. So at this point, it started looking real. It started looking like, this could actually happen. We could actually have Eze at Arsenal. We could actually bring back the boy to Arsenal. Crazy, absolutely crazy. Now there was more updates to come. Now at this point, I'm not expecting a here we go the same night. Now I'm thinking, okay, we're going to move, slowly here. We're going to maybe here we go, maybe on the weekend. Maybe Tottenham will make a bigger offer, try and get him, and Arsenal will move to a different deal. David Ornstein comes back with another update. He says Arsenal reached agreement in principle with Crystal Palace to sign Eberechi Eze, deal worth around expired 68 million release clause, matching what Tottenham were ready to pay. Personal terms clause plus 27-year-old plays for Crystal Palace on Thursday before Arsenal medical. So we are already talking about a medical after he plays for Crystal Palace in the Conference League. So Crystal Palace have a very important game. They are playing the first leg against I think it's the first leg. I don't think it's a one-leg game, but they have a Conference League game. I think it's two-legged game. So they're playing against Frederick Armstad at home. So it's a game that they have to try and win before going away from home, because they need to qualify for the Conference League. They've still not qualified. If they lose this game, they're out of that. They were supposed to be in the Europa League anyway, but they were demoted down to the Conference League. And if they don't win this game, they're not even going to be in the Conference League. They're not going to make it to the league phase and all that. So they have to win this game. It's an important game for them. Eze has to be in that game for them. So at this point, I'm thinking, no problem. You can play that game. I'm going to watch that game for sure. I'm going to watch Eze playing in that game, because listen, if he's going to join Arsenal, then that Conference League game becomes all of a sudden very, very entertaining for us for sure. Now, at this point, it's looking like we're going to get him, but still, you never know. Tottenham might come back in for him. They wanted him over the last 2 years or something. They might still come back for him. This is what Fabrizio reported literally a few minutes later. Here we go. And whenever we get that confirmation from David Ornstein, and that here we go from Fabrizio, is totally official. All this happened in the space of like 2 hours. Eberechi Eze to Arsenal, here we go. Verbal agreement in place between all parties. Crystal Palace to receive package in excess of 60 million as Eze preferred Arsenal over Spurs. Arsenal win race over Tottenham, being in advanced talks for days but never sealed. Over the moon. Over the moon. Now, when we heard that he might, he has the chance of choosing any of those teams, there's still a chance he could choose Tottenham. They're still in London. They're still in the Champions League. He might have more regular minutes over there than at Arsenal. Maddison has left. Son has left. He will have better chance of playing that. Arsenal maybe is a rotation option. Have we convinced him that he's going to join? Have we gone in too late? But the moment he started hearing, he's going to join us, and he prefers joining us, and Sami Mokbel himself as well, another trusted source, he also jumped in with this in between all the David Ornstein and Fabrizio tweets. He said this deal moving very quickly. Eberechi Eze expect Eze to be an Arsenal player, agreement in principle already in place. All this was happening within the space of 1 hour, 2 hours, and all of a sudden we got the deal done. Here we go. Eberechi Eze to Arsenal. Out of nowhere. I did not expect this deal to happen, but we still need to agree the personal terms. We were told that Arsenal have agreed, the deal with Crystal Palace, but we still need to agree personal terms and finalize those. David Ornstein, literally another hour later, he says Eberechi Eze agrees personal terms with Arsenal ahead of completing move from Crystal Palace. Deal in principle already struck for 27-year-old attacking midfielder to join Arsenal after Crystal Palace game in the Conference League. Players part now finalized too. Deal Dan Eberechi as a will be an Arsenal player. Here we go. Confirmed by Fabrizio Romano, confirmed by David Ornstein. Big shout out to David Ornstein for getting the exclusive for Havertz's injury, and then literally the same night got the exclusive for Eberechi to Arsenal. Eberechi has it to Arsenal. This deal came out of nowhere. We had given up on it. It was looking like Tottenham are going to get him, and what a deal it is, man. What a deal it is. So if you're just waking up and wondering what happened, that is what happened last night. If you already watched all the streams last night, you know what happened. And I'm still as excited as I was last night. I can't lie to you. I did not expect this deal to be done, but it's a deal that is going to take us to the next level. If you've seen the reaction, I've been watching I've not slept all night. I've been watching all the reactions from the Tottenham fans. They are not happy. The Chelsea fans, the Man United fans, the Man City fans, you can tell even the Liverpool fans, they know that this is the kind of deal to take us to the next level. We needed someone extra to create chances for us, someone extra to break down the low blocks. Now, if you look at the fixtures here, let me show you these particular fixtures. Games like against Liverpool away, Man United away, Man City away, we usually pick up something in all of those games with the squad that we have, because we have a very good defense, a very good goalkeeper. We still managed to pick up points in those games. But maybe to go to the next level, maybe for us to eventually win at Liverpool away, in an away fixture at Liverpool, for us to eventually, break down those teams that we need to break down, these fixtures that I'm putting up right now. Because against the big teams, you're probably going to pick up something. Maybe you're going to need some extra quality of Eze, to beat like a Liverpool away, to beat a Man City away. But for us to, stay close to those teams that you're trying to stay close to, I've shared the wrong thing. Let me go to the right thing. The fixtures. So these fixtures here, these are the fixtures that we need players like Eze for. We obviously need him for the big games as well, but these fixtures here that you can see on screen, those are the games that Eze is going to really help us. Those games against West Ham at home, that is a game we lost last year. We had so many shots, but we couldn't score. A game like Fulham away from home, I'm sure over the last like 4 seasons, maybe we've won there once or something. I think it was like a 3-0 when Trossard had like 3 assists in the first half. But last season, I think we lost. The previous season we drew. I mean, the last 2 seasons, I'm sure we've drawn and lost at Fulham. Those kind of games, if you have Eberechi Eze, I'm sure he scored as well there a couple of seasons ago, a very good goal at Fulham. His former team, Crystal Palace at home, and then these games here, Burnley, Sunderland away from home. We don't take these games for granted. This is the kind of teams that are going to play a back 8 against us. And if Odegaard is not on form, and if Saka is not on form, we struggle. But if you can also have Eze in this kind of game, play a front five with both Eze and Odegaard on the pitch at the same time, you create numerous chances for someone like a Gyökeres up front. And then this fixture here against Tottenham, 22nd of November. Oh, I cannot wait. Eberechi Eze to Arsenal. Here we go. He will be an Arsenal player. One more game for Crystal Palace, and then we are going to have probably a 9 for me. Considering you also gave players like Nwaneri, Lewis Kelly, Gabriel new contracts, it's so close to being a 10 out of 10 transfer window. Let me know what you make of all this. Have you, recovered from last night? Are you waking up to this news? Let me know what you make of it. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you on the next one. A lot of updates coming up.